Cold weather fragrances are my favorite. I'm all about it. I know cozy has been such a buzzword everywhere and everyone's like all about the decorating. I'm switching out my fragrances. I always get so excited switching out the warm weather fragrances for like those like transitional and cold weather scents that are just like so cozy and comforting. So that is what we're talking about today. I got my little fall cup with my little hedgehogs. It's my favorite. I will be doing a separate cozy fragrances video, but Arab edition. So once that's up, it will be linked here. Let's start with Dior Addict. I love this. This is one of the best vanilla tonka combos. It is very mature. It does smell very rich, very ladylike. When I say rich, I don't mean wealthy. I mean rich in terms of full bodied, like a rich wine. So this is rich in that sense. It's not like it's throwing money at you. It comes through like a little bit nutty and it's very captivating. It's not a typical vanilla scent. It's not like vanilla extract. This definitely is kind of an acquired taste fragrance. So if this is not a love at first sniff for you, I just would recommend that you come back to it in a couple years and you might really like rediscover and love it. This one did have to grow on me, but now I just love it so much. It is definitely one that I get so excited to wear in the colder weather. An oldie but a goodie. I will never be without Armani Code. This is one of the only fragrances that I like the current formulation more than the old one. A lot of you guys ask me whenever I review this fragrance if the one with the flowers on the bottle, the old formulation, if it was any different. I actually find that like magical hook in Armani Code is more present in the current formulation. It has this kind of cozy sweater vibe. It just envelops you. It's like, it's sensual. It's kind of orange and vanilla, but it has this fuzziness about it. It has this fuzziness like a cashmere sweater. It is so beautiful. Whenever it gets cold, I always wear this because I feel like it doesn't really work in the warm weather. And so I never really wear it in the summer unless it's a cold evening, but I really gravitate towards it in the cooler weather. I guess the last blue in here is Interlude. This was funny how I stumbled upon this fragrance because this one was actually a recommendation by ChatGPT. Anyway, I'll link it here if you want to check it out, and I walk you through the steps of how I prompted it to get the recommendations. And I was like, okay, this is one that actually might work. And then I sampled it out. I think I got 2 samples of it and I wore through them and I was like, yes, absolutely, I need it in my life. And then I waited until Fragrance Buy had it and I snagged it up. So that is how this came into my life. So yeah, I guess I have to thank GPT for that one. ChatGPT. Here is an amazing, cozy, elegant scent that I actually discovered through one of you guys. When I had you guys send me your fragrance collection pictures and videos so that I could rate them and judge them, one of you ladies had this beautiful Bulgari Patchouli Tentation. And I immediately went and got it because I was told that it had Narciso vibes. And I was like, if it does, I need it. Also, I very much love Bulgari fragrances. I think it is such an underrated designer brand. They have amazing, amazing fragrances. And this did not disappoint. So thank you so much for that. I love it. It's definitely this like smooth, creamy, almost like woody base. So it does have that Narciso vibe. The patchouli is so smooth. It's like milky. Like I think they bottled it very appropriately with this color because it's not a punchy patchouli. It's a very smooth, almost like satin like patchouli that just dances around you and like flows. It's so nice. Lease Studied. This is the perfect cozy everyday type of scent. It has this ambrette seed and pear and it has a nice muskiness. This and Floating are like their 2 very clean, perfect everyday scents, but this one has a warmth to it. Fuzzy, kind of comforting richness. Like it's a really nicely well-balanced, fruity and powdery type of everyday casual cozy scent. They do have this at Twisted Lily now. My code is scented10 for 10% off. Now let's jump to an affordable one. This is Rich Warm Addictive from Zara. In my opinion, the best Zara fragrance. It is pretty long lasting. It smells delicious. To me, it smells like some kind of like caramel espresso martini. I talked about it in this video here as well. I just get so excited for wearing this fragrance when the cold weather comes. In fact, my son was sniffing all of my fragrances. I had them out on a tray, all my cold weather ones. This was his go-to. He was very excited to smell it and he thinks it's delicious too. So if a 3-year-old's opinion means anything, he loves it. 11th Hour from Byredo. This is so good, but I didn't like it at first. To me, it smells spicy and weird, and it definitely has this like mulled wine and clove thing going on. It reminds me of Christmas markets. Like if you go to like the Toronto Christmas market, that is like super jam-packed, and like I just don't go anymore. But that aside, they always have like a mulled wine bar where you can get a tiny cup for like $15. But it smells good, and it smells like this. I had mulled wine that I made at home because my sister-in-law got me like one of those like DIY packs. It smells so yummy. It has like that dried like orange and all the Christmas spices and cinnamon sticks, and it's just, this is the definition of like a warm Christmas night. So I love it. Brocéliande from Sorador. This is one of those caramel citrus scents, but it's very complex. It has lots of spices. If you love Lyra, if you love Devotion, this is a little bit more bitter. Also, if you love like Acro Bake, like those kinds of like sweet lemon dessert sort of scents, I think you would really love this, but this just has a little bit more like oomph to there. It's boozy, it has rum, it has lime, it has caramel. The thing with this one, it's not cakey. It's like, it's more boozy. It's like orange rind. So it's not like a candied orange or even an orange zest. It's more like an orange rind, like a lemon rind, together with caramel and the spices, ginger, cinnamon, obviously vanillic base, like very rich, very warm, and a lot more complex than any of the other ones that I mentioned. It's yummy. It's a really warm, super cozy type of scent for the winter. This next fragrance is therapy in a bottle for me. Whenever I need to just like and like chill out, this is it for me, and it is Temple of Horus from Melig Perfumes. Matt Melig, he's in Alberta, he's a Canadian perfumer, he does everything himself, and this smells like frankincense, like resinous, like a cedar fence almost, like you know that resin that you get out of there, like that's what I think of right away. Really, it's complex, it's very rich, it's so comforting. I like to go for a walk, spritz this on, and it's just like, it's so good. There's also a Temple of Horus too. That one is more about myrrh. It's a bit more like smoky, leathery vibes, but them combined together also smell incredible. For me personally, I prefer this one. It smells fresher, and the Temple of Horus too, I feel like it's more masculine. Okay, but then if you want to like zing right up, Gleam Espresso Please. This has the most delicious espresso coffee and chocolate opening. It does dry down really quickly, so points deducted for poor performance. It does not perform. So keep that in mind, but it does smell really nice, especially in that opening. You get that like nice little kick of coffee. That is just a really great way for me to start my morning. And you know what? It works for me, the fact that it doesn't last very long, because as it dries down and like I'm a little bit more awake, maybe after I've had my third real cup of coffee, then I'm ready maybe for a different fragrance. So it fades and I move on. Here's what I've been completely obsessed with since I sampled it. It's Epico Vanille Noir. This is a smoky, spicy vanillic scent. It has cloves, it has cardamom, and it has a nice but soft incense. So it gives you like that comfort of incense, not intense incense. It's very subtle. It also has a tiny bit of coffee, but it's hardly noticeable. There's a lot of spices. For me, clove, ginger come through really strongly, and vanilla, like big time vanilla. And the way that those notes combine, it gives this like Coca-Cola fizzle a little bit. So it's kind of like this smoky, vanillic Coca-Cola. I love it. This reminded me as well of Encens Suave from Matière Première, but I love this so much more. It's just so much deeper and richer. It's multifaceted, it's warmer. And finally, Mind Games Prodigy. I wanted to show you the whole presentation because this new line that they have, which with 2 fragrances, is about the transformation of raw materials into the final like masterpiece creation and the journey of it. So they give you Rose Absolute and Patchouli. I tried the Rose Absolute on my skin. It smells exquisite. And this is a very cozy, kind of like coconutty, almost like sandalwood scent with rose and patchouli. So it almost reminds me of kind of like Midnight Poison vibes, but with a very strong, warm coconut. Cozy in a very different way. Because usually I think of cozy and I think of like spicy, warm, vanillic type of scents, but this is like a milky, woody rose and patchouli. It's very tastefully done. It is a feminine composition. However, if you're deciding between this one and Mentor I got a sample of. This one does have a very, very sharp base, and I would say it's very masculine, but not in like a positive way. This one smells really, really nice and definitely more feminine. So those are my favorite cozy cold weather scents for this year. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.